Hello and welcome to Mercy TV Live. You know, this is for medical patients, but it's also for all patients that need help. Tonight, we have Ethan with us. You know, Ethan is a patient himself.
Hi, Sonny.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good, especially this Friday. Couldn't ask for any more beautiful weather.
Very nice. So, you know, a lot of people out there are patients and they're wondering what, all the problems they face. You know, are these things that you yourself have encountered?
No, but due to volunteering at the office, we definitely have a lot of patients coming through our doors, and really, I think the most important thing between a patient-grower relationship is that the patient is happy with the medicine that they receive from them, and that it's hopefully consistent.
Well, and that's the biggest thing that we find out from a lot of patients. Everybody out there needs good medicine. Everybody has issues trying to find somebody that can help them consistently or show them consistently. And that's what we try to do at the center, you know. A lot of people only need a little help.
It's very true, and we can think of countless patients that have gotten help from us, and I'd have to say that their quality of life has improved, and my own quality of life has improved quite a bit from it.
And that's beautiful, you know. Those are the things that are going on at the Mercy Center. We also have PTSD, which has been on a big topic on our conversation. You know, there's a lot of people out there with PTSD. It hasn't been allowed as a condition for cannabis, but now it's almost completely past everybody's things. There's still a little more to do, and everybody needs to call. Call all of your representatives and tell them whatever they have to do to pass the PTSD bill, pass it. I mean, these are the things that we need to do as patients to tell our representatives that yes, cannabis does help, and there's a lot of people out there that it is helping, and they're doing it illegally today.
Yeah, and I really would like to see it transition from what it has been because unfortunately, a lot of PTSD people, you don't have to necessarily be in the military, but let's just say that our largest number of people suffering from the illness probably come from there. And I think that just purely out of respect for our American soldier, we should allow them the use of cannabis, especially if they've gone to a foreign country and risked their lives for our freedom's sake.
One, it's just medicine. It's an alternative medicine that everybody's talked bad about, but today we find out that it has a lot of healing qualities for everybody. And this is something that is not man-made. It has no chemicals in it. And everybody's saying, well, why did we get lied to all these years about how bad it is when really it is so good for us, and we're finding this out today. And that's one of the reasons for this show. Everybody needs to know that they have hope. Because if you're one of those people sitting in the hospital watching the show, because there are a lot of people that do that. They're in the hospital, they're on pills and drugs and surgeries and for the 10th time. And nobody knows, you know, they feel hopeless because they've taken so many drugs. And you know what? Nobody told them about cannabis, that cannabis can relieve nausea, and that the nausea that they're suffering is so debilitating that nobody outside of our world even understands what that's like, not being able to eat. And everything you do eat, you throw up. And that all the pills you take, you throw up, so you're having to retake pills because you got to have your pills, you know, when you're having seizures and you have all these serious conditions that we all have.
Gentlemen, excuse me. We have a phone call.
Hello, caller. How can we help you?
Yes, I'm a patient, and I was wondering where I could get some medicine.
Well, you know, that's a good question. A lot of people say these dispensaries, they go by these dispensaries, but they're illegal. So I don't know. They're illegal. That's what I can tell you. If you come by the center, we're patients helping patients, and you can get on the list for the handout. So it's up to you. You know, a lot of people ask me why we don't do it. I tell them because Measure 74 did not pass. That was a dispensary law in Oregon, And since
Right.
it did not pass, we are not dispensing marijuana for consideration.
I see. Do you guys have clones?
We have everything. All of us are patients. Everybody has gardens. Everybody knows how to cook butter, make oils, do tinctures, do the other smokable oils. Everybody knows and is willing to teach everybody else. So if you need some help, come by. Or if you want somebody to help you, just come by and meet somebody.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank
All
you for
right.
your
Thank
call.
you, caller.
Bye.
Bye.
Those are the kind of things that go on every day to have people that are looking, where can I turn to? Well, nobody wants to like go to somebody and might as well be their corner dealer when they're buying medicine. They don't know where it come from. Well, at the Mercy Center, at least all the people you meet, they all got gardens, they all got medicine, and you can share with their medicine what they're growing and what they know is good medicine and that is not poison.
Very true.
Well, it's become a big issue. So many people.
Well, and it definitely has. I don't know how many of you patients are familiar with the Cannabis Connection newspaper that comes out. What is that, bi-monthly?
Yeah, every 2 months comes out.
You know, they've got all kinds of places listed in there, and the big thing is, I believe one is Sunrise Analytical, and there's a lot of people. There's a big business in just having strains tested, whether it be for THC content, whether it be mold or mildew, or just to see if there's potentially any dangerous pesticides on it. I'm assuming is the variation of tests. I'm hoping that they do a number. If they're going to do one or two, they might as well do the full spectrum of tests.
Right, and you know, that's another thing. A lot of people have a lot of issues with the medicine. If you're having issues with the medicine, there's places like Ethan is talking about that you can look into that and find out where you stand with the medicine you're getting. Maybe you don't like the medicine your grower is giving you. You know, that's been a big issue that a lot of people have had. And you know, the only thing we can do is look out for ourselves. So you need to come and meet somebody that has help, that has a garden, that has, and you try some of their medicine and maybe you find out, wow, this medicine really makes me feel better. I mean,
Yeah, and that's a rewarding thing to be able to get, you know, your issue of medicine each month and have it be something that you like, and not just in one aspect or another of it, but you like it all in general. Its effectiveness that it has on you, the taste of it, and I guess I don't know what else to refer to it as, but other than the cough factor.
right.
Does it make you cough until you're sick, or is it something that, you know, you can take a hit off of and cough a little bit and get some relief from?
Some people don't even have to do that because all they have to do is eat it. Maybe they need to vaporize. Those are the things, you guys, that a lot of people that watch this show don't know about. Those are ways that you are not smoking medicine, but you are actually inhaling the vapors of medicine through hot air or eating it with butter. And at the same time as that's going on, do you know that everybody that has eaten it has told me what a good sleep, what a good calming time it was for them to be able to do this and not have to worry about smoking and being all these things that go on with the, you know, that's what we're talking about. You guys, everybody that's a patient realizes that, you know what, I am the one that is suffering here and nobody seems to care, and they all drag me through all these pills and all these treatments and all these doctors and all these blood tests, and everybody else, well, what are you doing? Well, this is what's going on. We need to share the information about the cannabis, Ethan.
I think it's very true. If you yourself use cannabis, anyone you meet, whether they're friend or foe, it doesn't really matter. Is you should tell them about the benefits of cannabis. Some people are a little bit uncomfortable about it because of the job they may have to maintain or hold, and also there's some people in society that literally, they would, God forbid that a member of their church found out, they would be kicked out of it.
It's too funny you mentioned that. So many people have came in this week talking about their church and them being a Christian, and I'm sure maybe that's why you brought that up, because you know what? Everybody's a Christian that's came in, and they're all good people, and I believe that God brought them to us, and you know what? There ain't nothing wrong with that. Everybody has serious conditions and serious life trips that are going on that they never understood. How did I end up here trying to use an alternative medicine, cannabis? Well, because everybody else has put you through everything and nothing's worked.
Yeah, and that's truly usually how it happens. A lot of people that come through our doors looking to get their OMMP card are at the end of their ropes, whether it be Vicodin, Percocet, any of the pharmaceutical painkillers. And we've even witnessed a few patients able to stop taking methadone, which I consider a pretty amazing feat considering how addictive heroin itself can be, and methadone also.
That is one of the biggest things that nobody talks about, is the number of pills that everybody quits taking behind using cannabis, because it allows you to lower the amount of narcotics that you are taking, let alone some people quit taking them altogether. And that's from morphine and on down, because everybody knows that there's others that have accomplished this task by using cannabis in every way, and that's using the oils, rubbing them on, using the foods, eating them, smoking it, and vaporizing it. You know, we have a lot of things and options for us to use. The lady that came in the other day that had the breathing problems, she couldn't really smoke the doobie, but when she smoked the vaporizer, it was really good for her.
That was good that she was able to vaporize, and she seemed to have pretty positive effects from the medicine.
Well, and this is one of the things that nobody understands, that until you try it, until somebody tells you about it, until you realize that the information you've gotten up till now is wrong, that before now other people gave you bad information concerning cannabis, it's just a lie. Now we have good information, and it's helping a lot of people out there. And if you're one of the people, or your family, your wife, your brother, your sister, your kid is sick, and they've taken all these pills and been to all these doctors, and you know everything I've mentioned tonight is true, then yeah, cannabis, all you can do is look into it, because you have no choice. You've done everything else, and now you're telling me you heard this thing, this guy said cannabis might work. I'm going to have to check into it. Go online, check out our website, www.mercycenters.org, and there's other TV shows there. You can look on for other states, you can look on for conditions. Whatever you need to look up, you can find. And this is what people like us patients, society here, need to know, the good information, and quit being lied to.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that society is still suffering from some of that. There's been a lot of years worth of propaganda now about mistruths, and even I become a little bit appalled when I see a drug partnership for a drug-free America, where a girl supposedly melts into the couch and it's got her sister or maybe a friend just sitting next to her talking about how her friend hasn't been the same. Well, that's just a propaganda stigma that is by hardly any sense of the word true. I don't know anybody that's used cannabis and melted into the couch and didn't do anything.
Excuse me? Did we have a phone call?
All right, go ahead, caller.
Yes. Do you guys charge membership fees?
Oh no, there's no membership fees. You know, everybody's our patients. Just come in and help support, put some money in the can, help pay for the phone bill, help pay for the rent, help pay for the lights. You know, you guys, all we need to do is take care of our little bitty stuff, and you know what? We have a place to go. We can get medicine, we can get plants, we can hang out, we can do whatever we want to do.
Very true. Definitely. I agree. You should please come into our office And you know, that's the thing is, we really, uh, there's a lot of growers here, and mostly all of us have medicine. It doesn't matter how bad of a situation that you're in, somebody would always be willing to give you a little bit of medicine to help get you through.
Well, cool. And where are you guys located?
1745 Capitol Street. It's in the back of the Graber Insurance Building. And when you see the red brick building, just turn into the back, and there's a parking lot in the back where you can park your car.
Well, cool. Thank you for your information.
Thank you, and have a good evening.
Bye.
That's a good call.
All right, you know, see, we have moved a couple times, and a lot of people have asked me about the moves. Well, you know what? When you've been around as long as we have, 10, 12 years, you move a couple times. How many times have you moved in the last 10 or 12 years? Well, we have too, but we're
Very
still
true.
going. We're still helping patients. Doctors, clinics, do you need a doctor? Do you need a doctor to help you get cannabis because nobody will sign? Give us a call. Come by the office. I mean, back to patients. What does the patients need? That's what's important. All the patients are suffering, and nobody understands that we're trying to have a quality of life, and by using cannabis, we can have a quality of life and actually regain all of the things we have lost during everybody's issues because this condition or that condition and these pills or that, as I think of radiation and all the drugs and crap they put everybody on, It's terrible. They need
Well,
to...
and I do. I believe there was somebody in our office talking about there was a recent article put into the Journal of Medicine, and I don't know if for sure if it was done by the British or who it was done by, but it was kind of an online poll, I believe, and what it was to the question to the doctors to read in this journal thing was if you any patient that you could think of that you have as a doctor was to be diagnosed with cancer and be looking for relief from whether it be the pain from the cancer itself, whether it be from the nausea from the chemotherapy and the radiation issues alone, has been pretty amazing. I almost believe that out of 100 percentile, there was like 60% of these doctors were saying yes, they would probably be more than willing to recommend cannabis. They have some issues with, because you can't prescribe it for one thing, but they said that they would have no problem recommending it, and I thought that that was beautiful, especially for something that's more modernized and up to date.
That's beautiful. You see, that's what we need to do is understand there's information out there and nobody's talking about that information. So when you hear it, please share it with somebody. Like Ethan was just saying, that's so important that there are doctors, they are confirming that cannabis is working and they know it and they would recommend it. They're just not sure how to go because they have federal licenses that allow them to be able to prescribe drugs, and if they mess up, they will take that license. I mean, that's a doctor's everything is his license.
And that was definitely a big part of the discussion was that a doctor's office would have a hard time staying open if it didn't have I believe it's a DEA registration number that they can operate off of, because they've got them watching, and they not only got them watching for the pills, they probably are watching to see how many cards they're signing for. And some doctors are scared to cross those lines with one another because, just like anybody else would, they got to think about where their paycheck's coming from.
So important, everybody knows what is going on in our system. The main thing is this: we need to get the good information out, and that is cannabis is helping. It's giving people a quality of life that the people that it's helping didn't think they would have quality of life again. We had a guy in telling us he got 16 years of sleep. He hadn't slept in 16 years, and he slept this week. Last week it was a guy in 13 years. I mean, every week we get these people in that finally get sleep after all these years and all the pills and all the side effects and all the doctors they've seen. And the guy today, he's steel. He had all the steel in his back from all the surgeries that he's had. And that's one thing you can tell when somebody's been through all that and they finally find cannabis. They're just so happy that something works.
I do, and I believe I heard some of the conversation while you were talking with him in the office, and he said that he was absolutely fed up with using morphine.
Those are the things that we're dealing with on a daily basis, and that is that patients are suffering. And not only are they suffering from their condition, they're suffering from the fact of all the pills and narcotics that they're getting, that their doctor, nobody's saying, hey, well, try some medicine, marijuana, some cannabis. Try this, try oils, try a tincture, try a vaporizer. Last thing is smoking. No doctors want anybody smoking because of the carcinogens. You guys, I understand that. It's all cool. You can vaporize, you can eat it, you can rub it on. There's all these other options. And those are the things that I would like to promote and help others at least learn that they have an option to use this medicine. Yes, sir.
We're gonna have a phone call in a moment.
All right. Go ahead, caller.
All right, take a
Caller.
second.
Hello, caller. Go ahead. How are you? Caller,
Caller?
are you with us? Caller, if you're there, I am so glad you called this evening, and we are the Mercy
Wait a
Center.
second there, Sonny.
All right, while we're waiting, hey, did you know that it was a...
Hey, Sonny.
Hello, caller, how are you?
Good. I just had a question.
Yes, ma'am, how are you?
Good. I wanted to know, are there any bills going through the Senate right now on medical marijuana?
Oh, there are so many bills going through right now, ma'am. One is about a dispensary law so we can have legal dispensaries in the state of Oregon. Another is so we can have cannabis legal in the state of Oregon, like Washington. And then there's a whole slew of them after that. Those are the two major ones, though.
All right. How could I find out more information on those?
If you go to the Mercy Center website at www.mercycenters.org, that will get you to all the information. You can see all the headings, and you'll see all the information. You just click onto it, and it'll get you everywhere.
Okay. What about PTSD?
PTSD is one of the things that is getting voting on, and it's almost passed. So, I mean, you just need to call. We're telling everybody, call your legislator and let them know to pass it.
And where can I get those phone numbers?
Come by the office. You can get that on the website, too. It's all available on our website.
Okay. Mercy Centers with an S.org.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I appreciate that.
Hey, thank you for calling.
Thank you.
All right.
See, a lot of people just don't know where to go, and then once you find out where to go, they don't know how to get there, and that's fine. You know what? They got all of the stuff set up.
Those can be some issues too. Really, what the thing to do for starters is go to our opener page, and the first page that you come to, make sure that you start at the top with the listings. All the wording will be in white lettering and green bars. And those will give you your options to choose from. And now as you go through those and you open each one of those up, whichever one is concerning your interest, be prepared to scroll down a lot of ways. Our web pages are content of a lot of pages of information. So sometimes it can seem a little overwhelming, but it helps by just taking your time and slowing down and reading through it.
That's, you know, it's so easy, you guys. We just need to be responsible. A lot of these people said all those people that use cannabis are not responsible. Well, no, we are. There's a lot of responsible cannabis users, and it's a stigma, and everybody has the fear, and everybody, you know what? I'm tired of it. It's wrong. It ain't right. There's a lot of people suffering that don't need to suffer, and all they need to do is eat a cookie. All right? Get up in the morning, throw a little butter in your oatmeal, eat a cookie on the way, and then have a great day and not suffer and have the pain and actually have some energy that when they get off in the evening, they can eat, because not only are they feeling good, they're hungry. That allows them to have some nourishment, and then they can get some rest. That will give them another day of energy and start the good cycle versus the bad cycle of where you don't eat, you don't sleep, you don't eat anything, and you're nauseated all day. You know, these are the things, you guys, that we're trying to let everybody know that does not have the information that we know to be true, that if you don't know it, you need to check it out. And if you're having any problems, please come by and see us.
Please do. And you know, that does it reminds me of a patient that comes into our building often, and you know, they are very health consciousness. They don't particularly like the bronchial effects that they'll get from smoking, and the coughing becomes more of an irritant to him. And finally, he finally started to resolve his issues just by adding can of butter to his tea. And I was shocked by it, and I almost think that he uses chai tea or green tea.
Well, and these are other things, you guys. Do you already drink tea? Or are you already getting benefits from teas? Good. You know what? Put a little butter in it. And some people say, well, I can't do that in the morning because it will make me go to bed. Well, then maybe you're not using the right medicine. Because if you use a sativa with a high energy end, because a lot of people say sativa makes them go really lots of energy. But yet, you know what? We had a guy in the other day telling me that's what puts him to sleep. It's back to there are pills that make you go to sleep, but make Ethan go fast. And then they got ones that make them go fast and you go to sleep. I mean, our bodies are like that. So everybody has to get used to the fact that cannabis really is a medicine, and we have to decide, we have to find out how it works for our bodies, you know? And that's the best way, that when you can see, well, Ethan's got this and I got that, and those guys over there and that lady's got hers. Well, you know what? Everybody can give you an idea. All you can do is like take a taste, take a bite of cookie, have a little puff, whatever.
Yeah, that's what it really takes. Is it's a huge thing on the patient's side of responsibly acting with, you know, how they're using their medicine. For one thing, you want to get at least some evaluation going with dosage, the amount of quantities that you're using. You know, are you comfortable with it? You know, really, in like myself, I find out that myself, I feel the best when I consume some cannabis cookies, or maybe even just a little butter, and it could be with ice cream.
Yes, sir. Do we have a caller?
Now it's time to say goodbye.
Oh, hey, well, we'll see you next Friday night. Thank you to all of our volunteers here at the station and CCTV. You know, we couldn't do it without them. And, you know, we are really getting a lot of good information out. And all those people that need help in the hospital and stuff, come by and see us. We're there Monday through Friday, 12 to 6. Thank you, Ethan.
Thanks for having me, Sonny.
You know, we'll see you again next week, Friday, 7 o'clock, live, right here, MTV Live.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.